hope you're having a happy Halloween. And I just happened to have found a new article that I find, at least it's new to me, that I think is really, really, really interesting. You can tell it's Halloween. Someone's coming to the door for candy. Good thing I've got a door opener. All right, so the Northport Police. This is about this is the chief of police, and he's talking about the Gabby Petito. He spoke at a event in what county is that? Gosh, Northport, or that Sarasota County, I think. And anyway, of course they had questions, right? So this is what he spoke just candidly with the crowd. He defends the agency's performance in Gabby Petito, Brian Laundrie's case. Northport Police Chief Todd Garrison told members of the South County Tiger Bay Club that once he learned his surveillance team mistook Roberta Laundrie for her son Brian Laundrie, it was important for the agency to admit the error. Now that happened, I saw it like last week or something. I just kind of blew it off. And what it was when Roberta Laundrie drove the Mustang back from the place where Brian said he was going to go hiking. And she comes home, and of course she's in the Mustang. She's wearing a hat. Her hair's pulled up underneath it. They had all these cameras set up, around in the neighbors' yards and stuff, which I think is very weird. Don't know if I would want the police putting cameras in my yard, even if there is a suspect across the street. Because they're also going to be watching you, and once they're there, they're never going to leave. So, anyway, the chief goes on to say, as a leader, what do? Garrett said, I do not tell the public what's going on. Do we conceal it, cover it up? No, that'd be illegal. People want open transparency and honesty from their law enforcement officials, he added. Yeah, we would hope to have that, right? Yes, we made a mistake. It was human error, but I still stand behind my team. Garrison was one of 4 local law enforcement leaders on the panel that included Sarasota Schools Police Chief Tim Eno, Sarasota County Sheriff Kurt Hoffman, Venice Police Captain Charles Thorpe, who stood in for retiring Venice Police Chief Tom Matt Muller, who was sick. Moderator Laura Benson asked Garrison about the search for Laundrie that got national media attention midway through a program that also touched on topics ranging from homeless outreach efforts to traffic control. So the Tiger Bay Club, it's like, that's the name of probably a boating facility or like a retirement place. Who knows, right? And anyway, these people, they always have speakers. Community outreach stuff is really big in law enforcement. If you've never been to an event where you have law enforcement talk to you, you really should. And they're always willing to go out and talk. Most people, when they see the police, it's at their worst moments. So that's why you never have a really good idea or a good sense of being around the police. You always think, oh gosh, they're out to get you. Because probably when you're interacting with you, they are out to get you. Garrison know that the first 3.5 days, the investigation involving Laundrie, which started with a missing person report filed in Suffolk County, New York, Northport Police operate in a support role. So did you get that? The report came from New York. What a lot of people don't know, this is Garrison. What a lot of people don't know is that in June, Gabby and Brian moved out of their location and put a lot of stuff into storage, and they changed their address and moved to New York. And from there, they left for their cross-country adventure. They left, so they were in New York for a month before they left, and they'd already established residency there. Now, this is important. On residency, your domicile, where you live, where you can be served process, where your bills go, everything like that, where you pay your taxes. It is based on intent, all right? So you have the intent to stay somewhere. And you have to stay, for tax purposes, you have to pick a place where you spend the majority of your time, 6 months out of the year or something like that. But still, it's your intent. Like, this is where I'm moving. This is where I'm going to be. This is where I'm going to stay. This is my new home. So when you change your address and you put everything in there, you're saying, I mean, you're building the case for intent at that point. So they were planning on going cross country and coming back. What this tells me is, do we even know that the Laundries knew that Brian had left town with Gabby for this cross country adventure? Let's see here. That Wednesday afternoon, Northport, working in concert with the FBI, became the lead agency in what was still technically a search for Petito. Now we know that by the time we became the lead agency, Brian had already left the house and presumably had already been deceased out in the Carlton Reserve, Garrison said. Boom! That is a big piece of the puzzle. So, Brian was gone. He was gone, literally. And the Northport police, they had nothing to do with any of this until then. We were out there in the public for making a human error, the surveillance team told me. Chief, Brian was seen going inside the house, he added. So that Thursday, when Garrison told media that we know where Laundry was, it was 100% in my belief that what the team told me was accurate and Brian was outside the house. Later on, we found out that Brian had left the house, and now the parents on Friday wanted to report him missing. Garrison said there was nobody more surprised about that than me. In fact, when my officers went out to the house to do the report with the FBI, I sat with the deputy chief in my office, hoping that they would find Brian hiding in a back bedroom, he said. I was hoping maybe it was a ploy, and it wasn't. Garrison stood by the efforts of the team and made the erroneous identification. As a 30-year law enforcement veteran doing surveillance, this is not uncommon. And if any expert out there says it is, they're lying to you, Garrison said, and later added, I tell you one thing, the amount of work that was done behind the scenes 24 hours a day from our team and the FBI working on the second floor of the police department was phenomenal work. That work led to the search teams to locate Gabby Petito, deceased, Garrison said. I want to remind everyone our primary focus on the first couple of days was to find Gabby. If Brian did go on the run, he would be found. I was confident of that, he continued. People are making judgments on things that were learned over the last 5 weeks. We didn't know a lot of this information over the first 4 days. Wow. Sarasota County Sheriff praised the performance of Northport Police and his department. Sheriff Hoffman later praised the performance of Garrison and his department. We talked probably 20 times during the situation, and obviously we supported them out in the preserve looking for Brian Laundrie. I told them, you guys were right. He and Deputy Chief were right. That guy went out there and by all accounts probably committed suicide, and he was out there where we thought he was. There was 4 feet of water out there at the time. That's weird to me still, the whole water thing. I don't know why that's weird to me, but it's just weird. I mean, that's just, you gotta realize, Florida's not comfortable. I mean, there is stuff, mosquitoes and everything else biting at you all the time. I wonder what kind of shoes Brian had with him, right? Prior to the question on the Petito Laundrie case, the 4 law enforcement leaders talked about homeless outreach efforts and blah, 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 all that stuff that we don't care about because we're interested in Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie. So there you go. So after reading this, did Gabby's parents ever talk to Brian's parents? Did Brian's parents even know he was still with Gabby? This opens a whole new thing. Nobody knew anything. His parents didn't know anything until after he was gone, right? There's just, let's see here. I'm trying to think if there's anything else on here. I mean, it's so bizarre now. Yeah, by the time they came to the lead agency, Brian was already gone. They mistook his mom for him. So, I mean, they're just thinking, oh, yeah, he's right over here. Uh, that's what I mean. A missing persons report filed in Suffolk County, New York. So they got something. It comes over the fax machine or whatever they have. Police report. It says, hey, one of the places she had listed as living was in Northport, Florida. Could you do a drive-by check? And that was like the other day. I saw a thing where the police had gone over to Laundries' home just to check on things. There's no reason to think that there was a murder at all at this point. I don't know. This is weird. This is really weird to me still. I hate to say it. I'm starting to go down that, like, I've got a weird hunch about this. And, I mean, come on. Y'all have the same hunch. I'm sure. A lot of you do. Could that little, wimpy little looking Brian really kill her? And, I mean, there's no DNA. She didn't fight back. Right? I don't know. It seems weird. It just seems very, really, really weird. I wish I knew more. The simplest answer probably is, yeah, he did it. But why he did it, we'll never know. They say they fought a lot. Holy cow. I mean, dude. I've seen some guys fight with their girlfriends, boyfriends, hoe friends, whatever. But killing somebody, I mean, that's something the human body does not naturally go there. So, anyway, guys, please subscribe. That's all I ask for. Please like if you care, but subscribe is the big one. Let's get some numbers up. Help me out. And that's going to help you all out. I'm really excited about this. I like this being your channel. I think this true crime stuff is interesting, and I was never into it before. Y'all kind of turned me into this, so thank you so much. And I hope to try some other ones here. But listen, y'all, be safe. Love you. Happy Halloween. And as always, Godspeed, y'all.